No, because I can't get that to work. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
That hasn't changed.
So will you watch the chat then?
Uh, I can watch the
Or
chat. Yeah.
okay. And let's just make sure, if we're answering somebody's question, we read the question because a lot of people aren't looking at the conversation.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, cool. Let's go.
We're live.
Hey, okay. Candy is here. She's right here in the other room
Hi.
where it says Kidd and Candi. She's right there.
We're
Um,
having technical difficulties. I'm doing this without kids, so you got me on a black screen.
we're working on it. We'll fix this. I promise. This will get fixed. Let me go to High Vibes Up so I can see any of the chat that might be going on live. We're live.
Whoa. We are live.
Okay, I'm turning me down. Okay, sorry. There's a delay on there.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you want to start with other than the fact that we've had technical difficulties or, and you know what? It's just a learning curve, folks. We've been talking for a really long time on this place of existence. We've been walking a very long time on this place of existence, and we know a lot of things. The computer isn't really one of them.
Yeah, something like that, huh?
Not our forte. What would you like to start having a conversation about? Did you want to go through this or and talk about field architects? Because this is what we're ultimately trying to do, is start the field architects YouTube channel so we can have some interesting conversations just between Candy and I, and then have our guests on, which of course, Kidd is going to be one of our guests, and probably more than just one time. He'll be like, girls, leave me alone.
Well, I remember when I just got the idea to start a channel with you because there was so much that comes out with yours and my conversations, things that other people need to hear because it would benefit them. And that is why that's why I brought the idea to you.
Yeah, I thought it was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And so we
I
went
love
into
it.
the planning stages, and we both liked where it was going and heading.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but there's been, right after we decided that we were going to do this, Diane, then a bunch of shit hit the fan. Both of us kind of went into a cocoon as we were growing and integrating downloads that were happening with us. It made us feel like being in a quiet place was just super important because all the other energies were just wrangling our nerves.
It absolutely, absolutely true. And I think a lot of people out there right now have been feeling bombarded, or I don't want to say attacked, um, but feel like recoiling, right? I just need to go in my safe space and just be alone for a moment. But they're not really sure what they're supposed to be doing in those alone moments. And since we've gone through them, I'm not saying we have any kind of special tasks or acceleration. However, I have noticed that through Candy and myself, and including Kidd and a few others in our field, we seem to kind of go through a few metamorphoses kind of in advance, so we can kind of soften the blow for people, or so we can understand it once it starts happening to the individuals around us. Do you say that's about accurate?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Peace. Isn't that what we're all looking for, is a little peace?
Oh yeah,
I
totally.
got some peace in this cup. No,
I
it's
want
not.
give me
It's
give
not
me a sip of
tequila.
that.
It's coffee. Yeah, no tequila, coffee. So, I had been thinking about starting my own channel as well. And then when Candy brought the idea to me, why don't we just start something? And I'm like, okay, let's start something. And then we, like, what is it that we want to get out there? What is it that we want to do? What kind of message do we want to put out there? Because there's enough, truthers out there doing their jobs, whether that's being a part of the truther pacification program, which is just kind of hurting these kind of people here, or the people that are telling the truth, or people have no idea and they're just going with whatever conspiracy idea that, is up for the day. So what we're doing is we're just going to go with the energies. And I know that sounds kind of funky, right?
Yeah.
And people don't always know. Oh, look at that. My straw looks like huge. So people don't always know what they mean by energies. What I mean by energies is that you already know that you're going into a mood. You already know that you don't want to go into that building because of that person. That has to do with their energy. You already know you don't want to drive that car to work because it always does something, right? So those are still energies. And when we give something the energy in advance of something that we really don't prefer, we are making it so. We are making that happen. So one of the things that we're going to be doing here is we're going to not be teaching, we're all going to be learning at the same time how to change our field. That's why we're calling it field architects. We are going to construct our own field around us to make the day like we choose, not the way that the collective chooses my day's going to go. And it's not that I'm just a complete control freak, because some might say I am. I just don't believe that the collective has the right to tell me how my day's going. Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but oftentimes I find that happens for me until I catch it.
Right.
And that's a lot of times that's getting quicker, but there are times when I get stuck in it and it feels um like I've been drawn in and I'm just swirling around until I do see it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, that's how they live their every day. They let other people's whims, or the mainstream media's whims, or whatever, rule their day. So they're just in a constant, whirlwind of other people's crap. And that's exactly what it is. Other people's crap. There's no other way to put it. And I'm like, I don't consent. You and your shit go off in the other corner, because it doesn't belong in my field.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Talking about that, one of the things you and I have been noticing is our awareness towards what to talk about with whom.
Mm.
And it's we see so much. We all do. We all see so much in other people's lives, because when we see something in someone else's life, that means we've seen it in our own. That's how we can recognize it. We
Right.
remember. We remember it.
Yeah.
And so the temptation to help someone through it, help someone walk across the street from where we've already been, is great. And what we're noticing is that people, how do I say this? We don't, we should not offer what we see unless someone is asking for it. And when we do, boy, does that bring up a shitstorm, doesn't it?
Oh my God. Both of them bring up a shitstorm. I've just experienced it in the last couple of weeks. And actually, I was fucking hilarious. And people were laughing, and some other gal goes off and is crying because whatever I said set her off, and she took this huge responsibility of someone else's complete and utter failure. She took it on her own shoulders.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And then I got, you made so and so cry. And I'm like, what? I
Wait
don't
a
even know
minute.
who that is.
Wait a minute. You made so and so cry. You made so and so cry? Boy, is that 3D thinking right there. That's a
Well, I
bunch of
understand that.
shit to put that on you.
Well, I felt terrible. And so I allowed myself to feel terrible for about 15 whole minutes. And then I'm like, okay, the person that informed someone else that I made someone cry, I adore very much. And so I'm like, okay, relax. Don't react in that. If I meant to say, make somebody cry, we'd all be in jail. I didn't do that. But I basically went, okay, how can I reclaim this energy, not absorb it, but just gather it up? And I've told you 100 times, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I've been listening to Jason on Archaics, and the man's brilliant. I just kind of work it in my way. So what I did was I took myself back that evening into the conversation before I spoke with these people, or was making fun, or just I was just being a fun asshole. Sorry. It's just me and my mouth. So anyway, everybody was laughing. I never saw her crying. I saw her laughing, and then later, I guess something went haywire with her. Anyway, so I took me back in the timeline, and it's like, okay, had I not gone over there, somebody else would have made her cry, because she was going to, at some point, take responsibility for someone else's complete failure. Had nothing to do with her. Okay. So anyway, I take myself in the timeline. I excuse myself. I soften the timeline. And I'm like, I just see it as something like floating beautiful. I take it back. And rather than it be so sharp, I just smoothed all the edges off. Okay. I brought it to the point to where I, removed myself from the conversation, sat down, and then hours later, I find out that someone blamed their crying on me. I did all of this, and then you have to be willing to let it go. Let the universe, let the divine creator of all things, let your field do its work. Once you've gone there and say, I just need this to be okay. I need this to be softer. I need this to be resolved, without getting my ass chewed off, right? I didn't want to deal with that. So I sent an email or a text to my friend, and I said, I never meant for anybody to cry. I said I was just being my asshole funny self, and I want to make this right. What can I do? Left her with that, no response. So I have no idea what I'm coming up with, the next day when I see her. So I see her and I'm like, I'm not going to get all screwed up over it. I'm just going to take my lumps and allow it to be what it's going to be and apologize to whomever is required. And because that was never, ever my intent. And when I spoke with the person that was in charge, who's also my dear friend, she was like, she was going to lose it regardless. It just one person, just threw her over the edge of this whole thing going wrong that she had no control of. They paid somebody to do a service, and their service was an epic fail. And I'll just say it was serving everyone dinner and no one ate dinner because it was bad. So it was never her fault. So I'm just saying that no matter what the situation is, you can take that situation, take yourself back in the timeline, relax, say what it is that you want it to actually be, rather than the bad outcome, the good outcome. Yeah, you're going to take a couple of licks, maybe. But I'm finding that this is working pretty well and pretty quickly. So these are some of the things that we want to be talking to people about. You can do this. We are more than we think we are. We are capable of more than what we've ever been taught we can do.
So we've got some people who popped on. So we want to say hi to Sarah, Lee, Baja Girl, Lee, and Lisa. And Lisa says
Absolutely.
she took offense. That's not on you, Diane. That's how I see it.
I understand, but these are work people and you need to play nice. I understand, totally understand.
Well, that lady is just going through some things, and what you were told is correct. If you didn't do it, someone else would have, because she was due for a release.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, her job is not an easy job because there's 300 and 400 people around that she's trying to, okay, I'll make this happen for you, and everybody's coming to him going, well, this didn't work out, or bitch, bitch, bitch. You know what I mean? You can only take so much of that crap.
Mm.
Most people can.
Yeah. Wow.
So she was relatively new, and that was her first experience of being around some of these catty women. Sorry.
Yeah, right. When you go into those situations, you have to be someone you're not.
Oh,
And that's exhausting, Diane, because you cannot play your high self, your high energy.
I know. You know what was, didn't I send you a text that says I'm playing small?
Yes, you did.
And I'm like, I hid in my friggin' room. But there's a few people out there that, I can kind of mix it with for a few minutes. And, but there's some people that just love me for who I am, and they think I'm a little different, and I'm totally cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. And I don't I don't think I'm better than anyone. I don't think I'm faster than anyone. I don't think I'm quicker than anyone or more powerful than anyone else. I just think we're all getting our groove when it's time for us to get our groove,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then each one of us that gets our groove, we get to share that. So then someone else can be like, that's such a freaking great idea. I'm going to do that next time. I'm going to try that tonight or whatever it happens to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like today, the stress of trying to get everything to work on our new channel, Field Architects. We are going to be learning together and walking each other home and to school
Oh my
on
God.
building our own field of our own energy around us. We are freaking lionesses and lions and tigers and bears
Mm-hmm.
and even Sasquatch. We are more than what we have ever been taught we are. And it's time. It's time for us to be okay with being more
Mm-hmm.
than everyone else in your family or anyone that you know. And yes, sometimes it's a lonely place. However, not that lonely. It's only lonely at first when you think you've lost someone because of your uniqueness and abilities. And then turn around in a grocery store and there stands your new best friend. Just relax.
You know, you and I had you you and I and Kid had a very interesting conversation last night.
Mm,
And oh, we've got 10 minutes for
got it.
Zoom.
You go for it.
Um,
Our conversation last night.
yeah. Yeah, it was really I mean, when we got off the phone with you, Kid and we just talked about it more and deeply because it was so amazing to see what is happening. I'm so sorry you cannot see me, but I love sitting here watching you. You're so beautiful.
I'm trying to look at the camera and not look at myself, like,
Look at yourself.
because it's the only thing moving. I'm like, what's moving? It's me. I normally don't see me move, unless my hand's in front of my face or something.
By the way, Victoria's on. Hi, Victoria.
Hey,
Um,
yeah, Lee and Lisa, Victoria, and Baja Girl. Baja Girl, you are a freaking rock star. I'm just telling you, you've been with Kidd and Candi forever, and I just always love seeing your name on there because you always have something epic to bring. Not that anyone else doesn't. I'm just saying I've been watching her for through the years.
so Lisa Farina says, those of us that are on here definitely love both of you for who you are. And you can let it rip on this channel for us. We would all appreciate it.
Oh, and Sarah Zam, hi, sweetheart. We didn't get you at the beginning. I do apologize for that, Miss Sarah. Yeah, I kind of try and hold back a little bit because, yeah, shit'll start flying. Poor Candy's used to it. She's all like, oh, here she goes. Gee, right. Here
Uh,
she goes again. I think that being in the presence of others that allow you to just be you and just do you, it's priceless. And I want to thank you all for that. I really appreciate it because some people think I'm a little too much and I'm trying to tone it down. And We are all those lionesses. And I know damn well we are. I can tell by your texts. I can tell by how you show up every time to Kidd and Candi's lives. And I appreciate that, just sitting where you are and just, texting my little fingers off, trying to get everything done right. And then, of course, as soon as I hit send, my phone loves to change the words, right, Candy?
Yes.
She's like, I have no idea what you're saying to me. And I'm like, well, what the hell? What's not clear about that? And I look at it and I'm like, oh, well, no wonder you didn't understand what I was saying, because my phone changes the word. There's something about my energy, and I'm sure you have it too, that your energy changes the field, or the words that are coming out of your phone, even though you hit each letter to make sure it spelled exactly what it is that you wanted to say, and as soon as you hit send, it changes the word. Who has that happen? Anybody?
Yeah, it happens to me sometimes, just not as often as it happens with your phone.
Well, at least it's, interesting. It's like a puzzle.
Not just
Puzzle.
interesting, it's consistent.
I'm just so happy it hasn't been completely offensive, because it could.
Some of those have gone on to memes that are so funny. Would you dick me tonight? What?
Sure. Well, what was that? Beaver juice last night?
Beaver juice or beaver sauce? Yes.
Beaver
That was
sauce.
hilarious, your husband's response to that.
Yeah, I have her on speaker, and she's like, I went down this aisle and there was like all these sauces, and she goes, and the one that jumped out on the counter at me was called beaver sauce. And I'm thinking, well, ingredients, scientifically, they make a fake vanilla with, some kind of beaver,
Butt
some kind of
juice,
juice,
right.
right? And I'm thinking, what was it, like a vanilla sauce? And my husband goes, I know what it is. And I'm like, oh, okay. Click. I'm not always there, but I'm always ready for a laugh. I'm telling you that. I am always ready for a really good, funny laugh. And my husband brought in the other day, what was it? Andrew Dice Clay? Is that comedian guy? He's since passed away. Oh my Lord.
I'm
I
not
laughed
familiar
so
with that
hard.
name.
And I'm like, we need real comedy back. The divine creator is in comedy. Hugely, the energy in comedy is there. And I hope I bring a little slice of that. And I know Candy does for me. And I know she does for others. I mean, I watch Kid laugh all the time. So I keep seeing this freaking meeting time clicking down to like 3 minutes now.
Yep. I was just looking at that too. It's 3 minutes 40 seconds.
Why don't you take it away? My mouth's been going long enough.
So, that conversation, basically, we're stepping into our powers, and some of it is really surprising us because we aren't quite understanding what's happening. For instance, I'll talk about what transpired with Kidd and myself. I was looking for a spice, and Kidd told me to go over to the other cupboard, and it's in a small container. And so I was pulling things out, and I was holding one of those um, uh, long, oblong, round spice jars. Not the one I was looking for, because the one I was looking for is in a square container. But Kidd got flustered and came over, and when he spoke, it was with force, and it sounded aggravated. And I call it sounding angry, whether that's the actual emotion behind it or not. I'm not sure. But when he did that, that jar flew up out of my hand and up into the sky. I did not throw it up. It did that by itself. And when it came down, it hit my hand on my sore knuckles and then dropped to the ground. And I had taken that to the team because that surprised the heck out of me. What would cause something to fly out of my hand like that? And what the team told me is that Kidd's Zeus powers are coming online. And it doesn't matter what kind of emotion he has. It could be the negative or the positive. And when it does, one way or another, that's like the Zeus lightning bolt coming out. And so when he realized what was happening and his power coming out, he's been really working at controlling that. What you need? Oh, the time, 1 minute? Yeah. Guys, this is gonna blow up on us because Kidd and I, when we go live, we don't have the Zoom that does a countdown because we're both on the same computer. But Diane and I do because we're at different locations and we're still using free Zoom right now.
Less than 1 minute. We love you.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Thank you for playing. We'll be back. I
Mhm.
promise.
Yeah, we're working on getting onto our other channel. We just can't figure it out at the moment.
Field Architects. ARCHITECX.
Yeah. Yeah, love it. Well,
And know that we love you and we're so grateful you came on. Share, share, share. Make sure your friends subscribe. The more we get, the better we can present different things to you through YouTube.
yeah. There it goes.